Hey, what up YouTube? It's your boy Mag. I'm back with another video. I took a little bit of a hiatus to kind of focus on gaming and doing some other stuff. Just had a few things going on in my life. But one of the things I hadn't been doing is playing games on the AMD system. You know, I finished Starfield, my first playthrough, and I was kind of just not feeling it for New Game Plus, but then I got into other stuff. Like I've been playing Forza a lot. I even went back to Forza Horizon 5 I've been playing for the last couple weeks again. But anyway, I wanted to play some games on the AMD system, and so I came in here to do some updates and see whatever had to be done, because it had been a few weeks to a month since I'd really fired it up. And I had a bunch of games on Steam that required updates, and started downloading those. I was like, you know, I wonder how much space I actually have left. I put that 2 terabyte Solidigm P44 Pro in this thing. So, you know, I started with 2 terabytes, but I've got like 300 gigs left. As you can see there, I've got, yeah, exactly 301 gigs left. So I think I'm going to make a trip to Micro Center. SSDs, M.2s are not as cheap as they were a couple of months ago. Like that Solidigm I got. Let me find this here. Let me filter by brand, because this is actually pretty crazy. There it is right there. The Solidigm P44 Pro 2 terabyte is now $172. So I was initially thinking I wanted to just match it and get the same thing because it's a super fast drive, and I think I paid $90 for that one. So I may be, I want to get a 2 terabyte. So I think I'm going to have to settle, if you will, for this 980 Pro. I want to get another drive before they get much more expensive. And it'll probably be the last drive I buy for a while, except for if I do a PC build. Beyond this, because this one will have 4 terabytes if I buy another 2, and my 4090 rig has, like, God, how much does that have in it now? 1, 2, 4. I think it has 6. It has 6 or 7 gigs in that one, but that's full of a lot of media files. So yeah, beyond what I have now, I think I'm gonna have to start thinking about eventually a NAS, if not right now, later on, but at least like a hard drive in an enclosure, something like 13, 16 terabytes or something like that. I'll move some of this stuff off of the M.2 drives that I don't access regularly. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on the road and go to Micro Center. It's gonna be 25 minutes for me, but due to modern technology, it's gonna be instant for you. Like, and here we are. Instantly transported to Micro Center. So let's go in there and see if I can find anything else for an SSD, or if I find any inspiration for a new build. So on the wall of motherboards here, they've got several B550 plus Wi-Fi 2, the tough gaming ones, for $102. So I'm kind of considering that. It's the same thing that comes in the 5600 X3D bundle. But here's my problem. I don't know if you can see that in there, but the 5800 X3D is now $320. They used to go for less than $300 not that long ago. I'm also eyeballing this LT520 because it's on sale for $100. Actually, forget that noise. LS520 with that cool looking thing is $95. I'm also intrigued by this. I don't know what the blue purple tag means, if it's an open box or what. I might have to go home and look this up. That's not terrible. That's just under, a little bit more than $1,000 off of Sapphire Nitro Plus 7900 XTX. That's the one that I got. I think I paid $1050 for it. I don't have a lot of them though. Just got those 3 or 4 models. Got a Gigabyte 7800 XTX for $500. Power color is $560. $530 for a Pole or a Hellhound? I don't know. 7700 XT is $450. These Steel Legend ones look pretty cool. I always thought that would look cool in a white build, or like a black on white. Then of course we got this junk here. Sure, that one's kind of cool, but $500, no thanks. Asus Dual 4070 is $619. That should be $550. I don't see any 4070s for that $550 price. I wouldn't buy any of this stuff unless I had to, considering the new cards about to come out. Kind of limited on the 4080s and 4090s. And in case anybody forgot what anything looks like, I've got the fall themed orange going for my RGB. Nothing too crazy because there's not a lot of RGB in here, but I took the panel off since I was going to be in here later doing the SSD anyway, and get rid of some glare so you can see it. And then I've actually got, so this is my little corner of Misfit toys. This is the RAM that was left over from my 5600 X3D kit that I didn't use because I got that Samsung B-Die stuff. So I have a kit, 2x8 3200 CL16 Ripjaws. I still have, I don't know if this will focus so you can see it, but this is my 13100F. So I have a CPU, I have RAM, and then I still have the A770, and I still have the 1080 Ti, and I still have all these boxes, 6700 XT, 7900 XTX. I still have the 1660 Super. So I was almost thinking, you know, the 1660 Super and even the i3 are getting a little dated now. Where did that thing go? You know, I think really I don't want to say you need a 6-core CPU just yet, but definitely when I upgraded from this 13100F to the 13600K in that original budget build, it definitely picked up performance. But it would go pretty nicely with, you know, this guy, or even, you know, the 1080 Ti. This is about comparable, this i3, to a, oh gosh, I think like a 4700K, maybe even better CPU. Actually, I don't remember if those were hyper-threaded or not. So really, this CPU is about as good as you could get when this came out. So this is the pairing I did in that Montech build though, so I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. I'm torn. I have another idea, but I want to see if I can find anything that piques my curiosity when we're at Micro Center. Well, I'm back from Micro Center. I did get the thing I went for, which is this Samsung 980 Pro 2TB M.2 NVMe drive. I haven't installed it yet. I'm not really in a big hurry, but I'll get around to that in the next little bit here. So what you just saw was me kind of alluding to what I'm going to show you here. So that spare parts build that I'm thinking about, the easiest thing to do would be to just get a motherboard for that 13100F. So I think a B760 would be a good option. A B7 or a Z790 may be better though, so that the system has some future upgradability. I mean, you could always upgrade on a B760 as well. It just doesn't have the overclocking features that the Z series board has. The problem is, you know, my standby would be this Gigabyte B760M DS3H. This is a good motherboard. I haven't had any issues with it. I've used 2 B660Ms and 1 B760M so far, and they've all worked well. They have a decent feature set, especially for the price. This might be the one that I would end up going up with again to just try and minimize the cost on the build, but still provide some good features. I think otherwise, you know, for a 760, you know, if I get up, like, what do I get for, you know, an extra $30 here for this Gaming X or for the ASRock? You know, 160 for this MSI, 170 for that MSI. I'll have to go through and really dig into the specs and just see, but ultimately what I need is, you know, a handful of USB ports on the back, a couple of M.2 slots, halfway decent audio codec. And honestly, the audio codec probably doesn't even matter for me. I'm not plugging anything into the motherboard. Everything that I use is Bluetooth, so it probably doesn't matter. Plus, if later on, if I sell this system, you know, if they want better audio, you can always just buy an external DAC, which is going to stomp any audio codec on any of these boards anyway. So there's that. So that's the cheapest option. You know, if I went with a $130 motherboard here, you know, that would be a good option. You know, I can get a 650, maybe even a 750 watt power supply. Again, and this is me always doing what I do, inching the price up and up. Thinking about a 750. I could get a 650 watt unit for, there's a Power Spec semi-modular one that's like 80 or 90 bucks. And then I'd need a case and some storage. So if I could get out of this for just a few $100 and then use what I have, you know, then maybe I could sell it and not completely lose my pants and have some content for a cool little video and see if we can resurrect maybe the 1660 Super. The crazy idea that I had, and if I did this, I would definitely keep it. I think it might be a decent test mule. I was thinking about getting another 5600X 3D combo. But then, and this is why I was looking at those motherboards there, I just don't really need to, but I thought I could put a 5800X 3D into the Starfield build and then swap the 5600 out, the 5600X 3D into a new build. And that CPU is a little firecracker, so I think it's got a lot of life left in it. So I could build another 5600X 3D system and throw that 1080 Ti in there and see how long that sucker will live for. I'm kind of curious to see when the final throes of life will be for the 1080 Ti. You know, we've seen with Alan Wake 2, you know, not supporting GPUs that don't support mesh shaders. You know, that GPU is not supported, but I just don't know how widespread that's going to be. You know, sans that, it's still a really useful GPU, at least when I, you know, was testing it earlier this year. You know, I just had the more recent video of testing it with Immortals of Avium, and it wasn't great, you know, in an Unreal Engine 5 game, but I think there's still a lot of stuff that it'll play well. So I'm going to stop running on about that. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you want to see the spare parts build, and if you do, what should I flesh it out with? Should I use the i3? Should I do a 5600X 3D again? Or shoot, I don't know. Should I build a more mid-range system to be like a test mule and you know, do a 13600K or a 14600K or something like that that'll be capable of supporting future GPUs, and then maybe that's the rig I use to test with you know, 4070 Super when it comes out. I'm not really interested in any of the other Super or TI models that are coming out, but the 4070 Super intrigues me because I really liked the 4070, and if the 4070 Super comes out in that $600 price range, it's dang near, I mean, we're gonna have to wait to see, but I think it's gonna be dang near the performance of the 4070 Ti. They inched the CUDA core count up real close And we're almost looking at a situation like with the 1660 Super and the 1660 Ti, where there's just a little bit of variance in between them performance-wise, and like a $20 or $30 price difference. So yeah, I'm still fleshing out ideas. I may not even do anything with that stuff. I may just move on to a different build altogether. I do still need a test rig to try new stuff out as it comes out, instead of constantly swapping it out of my main systems. I also don't like, I've considered testing stuff in the AMD build, but if I run NVIDIA GPUs in there, then I've got to DDU and remove the drivers and install the new drivers, and I'll do it if I have to, but I'd kind of like to have a separate thing for doing that. So again, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see, if anything, regarding that stuff, and I'll take it under consideration, and we'll go from there. If you made it this far, please drop the video a like. Helps my channel out a lot, helps send me to other people so they see my stuff. Please consider subscribing. Doesn't cost you anything, and again, helps me out a ton. Trying to get short-term goal to 500 subs and eventually to 1,000, so I can hit that full monetization program. Thanks for your support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.